The wheelchair clipped the metal door frame hard enough to make everyone in the front of the restaurant look up. Maya Chen backed up, cheeks burning, tried again, and finally wrestled her way inside. She was 52 minutes late, hair falling out of a messy bun, still in paint-smudged work clothes that smelled like acrylic and kid glue. Her blind date had been sitting there alone for almost an hour. She was ready for the usual script, the polite smile, the tight, "I have an early morning" excuse, the quick escape. She'd lived that scene too many times, but what Marcus Williams did next would wreck everything she thought she knew about herself and about love. Before the story went any further, the narrator's voice in her head did its usual thing. If this were a YouTube video, this is where they'd tell people to drop a comment and subscribe. People all over the world watching, not knowing that right now, Maya could barely make herself roll 1 inch farther. Hours earlier, Maya had exactly 14 minutes to get from the Sunshine Community Center in East Denver to the Golden Spoon on Lammer Street, and she was still on the art room floor beside a 9-year-old boy who couldn't stop crying. "I don't want to go home," Tyler whispered, his small body shaking. "My mom looks at me different now, like I'm broken." Something in Maya's chest split clean down the middle. She knew that look too well. She'd grown up with it. "Tyler, hey, look at me." She waited until his red-rimmed eyes met hers. "You are not broken, okay? You lost your leg. You did not lose who you are. Your mom is scared. She's grieving the life she thought you'd have, but she still loves you. That hasn't changed." Tyler wiped his nose with his sleeve. "How do you know?" Maya rolled her wheelchair back a little and tipped her chin toward her lap. "Because my mom cried every day for a year after my accident. I thought she was crying because I was a burden. Turns out she was crying because she couldn't take the pain away from me. Parents are weird like that." He almost smiled. Almost. "Can you come back Monday?" he asked. "I'll be right here, same time," she promised. "We're going to finish that dragon painting. I think he needs more fire." "More fire," Tyler repeated, and this time a real smile tugged at his mouth. Maya's phone buzzed for the 5th time in 10 minutes. She didn't need to check to know it was Tina, her best friend, probably sending increasingly homicidal messages about this blind date she'd set up. She helped Tyler into his mom's car, waved them off, then finally looked at her screen. 6:47 p.m. "Tina, you better be on your way." 6:52 p.m. "Tina, Maya, I swear to God." 7:03 p.m. "Oh, Tina, he's already there. He's waiting. Do not bail." 7:15 p.m. "Tina, if you cancel on Marcus, I am never setting you up again. I mean it this time." 7:31 p.m. "Tina, Maya Chen, answer me." Maya texted back with frantic thumbs. "Coming. Got held up with a kid. On my way now. Don't yell at me." The reply came instantly. "You're 30 minutes late. He's been sitting there alone. Go now. And for the love of God, don't apologize 50,000 times like you always do." Maya jammed her phone into her bag and pushed toward her van as fast as her arms would go. The accessible spot nearest the center was useless. Someone had parked a BMW in the marked space without a permit. The real ramp spot was on the far end of the lot. She didn't have time to be furious about it, not tonight. She transferred into the driver's seat, folded her chair, latched it down, and pulled out of the parking lot at 7:38. The Golden Spoon was 20 minutes away without traffic. It was a Friday night in Denver. There was definitely traffic. Maya had been in a wheelchair since she was 17. A drunk driver, a Tuesday afternoon. A girl walking home from volleyball practice with a whole future in front of her, college scholarship, maybe physical therapy school, maybe even a shot at the Olympics if she hustled hard enough. All of it gone in 4 seconds. The doctors said she was lucky to be alive. For 2 years after, Maya tried to decide if lucky was really the word. She adapted. She survived. She became an art therapist, found an accessible apartment, bought a van with hand controls, stitched together a life that worked around the limits the world never let her forget she had. But dating? Dating was a disaster. There'd been the guy who took one look at the chair and suddenly remembered a violent case of food poisoning. The one who spoke to her like she was 5, asking if she needed help cutting her food. And then Derek. Sweet, patient Derek, who stuck around for 8 months before finally admitting he just couldn't see a future with someone who couldn't do all the things he wanted. He listed them off like items on a menu: hiking, dancing at their wedding, chasing kids around a backyard. "I'm not saying you're not amazing," he'd said, like that softened the blow. "I'm just saying this is a lot. You're a lot. And I don't think I'm built to handle it long term." That was 2 years ago. She hadn't gone on a date since. Not until Tina practically threatened to break down her door if she didn't agree to meet Marcus Williams, a contractor who restored old houses and allegedly was the nicest man in Colorado. "He knows about the chair?" Maya had asked. "Of course he knows," Tina said. "I showed him a picture." "And he still wants to meet me?" "Maya," Tina sighed, "not every man is Derek. Some guys are actually decent human beings. Just give him a chance. Please." For me. So Maya had agreed, and now she was 52 minutes late, streaked in paint, rolling into what was probably going to be another addition to her catalog of dating horror stories. She pulled into the Golden Spoons lot at 7:48. For a long moment she just sat there, hands locked on the wheel. She could leave. She could text and apologize, say something came up, promise to reschedule. It would be the third date she'd canceled in 2 months. Tina would be done with her, but at least Maya wouldn't have to see the look. That quick flicker of surprise when men realized what they'd signed up for, followed by the forced smile and too bright voice, "No, it's totally fine," while their eyes said something else. She'd seen that look more times than she could count. Tyler's voice floated back to her. "How do you know she still loves me?" If Maya kept canceling, kept hiding, kept assuming the worst before people even had a chance to prove her wrong, what was she showing kids like him? How could she tell Tyler he wasn't broken if she kept acting like she was? "Get it together, Chen," she muttered. "It's just dinner. 1 hour. You can survive 1 hour." She hauled her chair out, locked the van, and rolled toward the entrance. The doorway looked wide enough. It wasn't. Her right wheel clipped the frame, jolting her so hard her bag slid off her lap and dumped across the floor. Phone, wallet, lipstick, balled-up tissue, 3 broken crayons from work. She backed up, angled, tried again. The wheels scraped the frame with a horrible screech. Every single person at the front of the restaurant stared. Maya's face went hot. Her arms shook from sheer exhaustion. She'd been pushing herself all day. Third try. She centered herself, lined up perfectly, and slipped through. A hostess rushed over. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Do you need help? That door is terrible. I swear I've told the manager 100 times. "I'm fine," Maya said, pasting on a smile. "I'm meeting someone. Marcus Williams?" "Oh, yes, he's right over there." The hostess pointed to a window booth. "He's been here a while. I've got it, thanks." Maya scooped her belongings into her bag and rolled toward the booth. He was sitting alone, staring at his phone, a half-empty beer in front of him. He was a black man in his 30s with deep brown skin, a fresh fade, broad shoulders, and hands that looked like they'd spent years holding tools. White paint speckled the sleeve of his flannel shirt. When he heard her wheels, he looked up. His eyes were a warm, steady brown. He didn't look annoyed. He didn't look impatient. He looked relieved. "Maya," he said, already standing, smiling like she wasn't nearly an hour late, like she wasn't dressed for finger paint, like she hadn't just fought the front door in front of the entire restaurant. "I'm so sorry," she blurted. The words tumbled out in a rush. "I know I'm incredibly late and I look terrible, and I should have gone home to change. But then I'd have been even later, and I had a situation with one of my kids at work. Not my kids, the kids I work with. And I couldn't just leave, and I totally understand if you want to call it a night, because this is probably the worst first impression in the history of first impressions, and I'm sorry about," she flicked a hand at the doorway, "whatever that entrance disaster was, and the door, and I..." "Are you done?" Marcus asked. Maya blinked. "What? Are you done apologizing?" His voice was calm, not unkind. "Because I've got a few things I need to say, and I'd like to get them out before you start again." Her mouth snapped shut. Yes? Good." He moved around the table, grabbed a spare chair from another table, and slid it aside, opening space for her wheelchair. "First, sit. You look exhausted." Second, I'm going to get you something to drink. Third, and this is the important one, he waited until she'd positioned herself at the table and met his eyes. You do not need to apologize for being late because you were helping a kid who needed you. You don't need to apologize for wearing work clothes. And you definitely don't need to apologize for existing in a wheelchair. That door is the problem, not you. Got it? Maya stared at him for a good 10 seconds, words gone. I got it, she managed. Good. Water or something stronger? Water first, then maybe a margarita. If we're staying. Oh, we're staying, Marcus said easily. I'll be right back. He came back with a large glass of water, a margarita, and a fresh beer for himself. Drink the water first, he said, nudging it toward her. You're probably dehydrated. Margaritas for after. How do you know I'm dehydrated? She asked. Because Tina told me you work with kids and never take breaks. He smirked. She also told me you'd probably show up apologizing for something that wasn't your fault and that I should tell you to stop. She was very specific about that. Something small and locked inside Maya cracked. Tina talks too much, she muttered, but a real smile tugged at her lips. Tina cares about you, he said simply. He took a sip of beer. So, tell me about the kid, the one who made you late. You don't have to. I want to know, Marcus said, voice gentle but firm. Tell me. So, she told him about Tyler, 9 years old, leg lost to bone cancer 6 months ago, learning to live in a body that didn't obey old rules. A mom who dropped him off 3 times a week for art therapy. The first month of silence, angry paintings full of monsters and fire. The way something broke loose that afternoon and he'd cried for 20 minutes straight because his mom's eyes looked different now and he thought it meant she didn't love him anymore. I couldn't leave him, Maya said. I know I should have texted you sooner, but I just couldn't. Don't. Marcus lifted a hand. Don't apologize. That kid needed you and you stayed. That's not something to be sorry for. That's something to be proud of. Maya gulped water, buying time, struggling with this man who kept saying things that didn't fit any script she recognized. You're not what I expected, she admitted. What were you expecting? He asked. I don't know. Somebody checking his watch, someone annoyed, someone looking at me like... She trailed off. Like what? His eyes stayed on her. Like I'm a project, or a problem, or a lot of extra work. Marcus was quiet, then leaned forward, forearms on the table, gaze steady. Maya, can I tell you something? Okay, she said. I've been sitting here for almost an hour, yeah. I wondered if you were going to show, but I wasn't annoyed. I was hoping you would, because Tina's been talking about you for months, and everything she said made me want to meet you. Not despite the wheelchair, not because I'm some kind of hero who dates disabled women as a charity project, just because you sounded like someone worth knowing. Tears pricked. She blinked them back. Most people aren't like that, she said quietly. I know, his voice softened. I can tell. The food came, tacos, enchiladas, too many chips and 3 kinds of salsa, and they kept talking. Maya learned that Marcus owned a small construction company restoring old houses. He'd started it 8 years earlier after working for a contractor who treated people like trash and cut corners on every job. I wanted something different, Marcus said, something I could be proud of. We do good work, treat folks fair, don't overcharge. I'm not getting rich, but the bills get paid and I sleep at night. As a black single dad in his 30s, that peace of mind is worth more than a bigger truck. That's rare, Maya said. Most people don't care about that. Most people haven't had to rebuild their life from the ground up, Marcus replied, taking a bite of his taco. When you lose everything, you figure out what actually matters. Maya set her fork down. What did you lose? Something flickered across his face, pain, controlled, and pushed down. My wife, he said finally. 3 years ago, car accident. We were driving back from her parents' place. A truck ran a red light. Maya's breath caught. Marcus, I'm so sorry. Thank you, he said. He took a drink. She died at the scene. I walked away with a limp I'll have forever and a 6-month-old daughter who's never going to remember her mother. You have a daughter? Lily, he said. His whole face softened just saying her name. She's 3.5 now. Best thing that ever happened to me. Huge pain in the butt sometimes. Still the best thing. Is that why Tina set us up? Maya asked. She thought we could bond over trauma? Marcus laughed, warm and real. No. Tina set us up because she thinks I work too much and never go out, and that you work too much and never go out. She figured we could be hermits together. That sounds like Tina, Maya said, smiling for real this time. They talked for another hour, about Lily and her dinosaur obsession, about Maya's job and the kids she worked with, about how hard it was dating when your life didn't fit neat boxes, being a black single dad, being disabled, juggling schedules the world wasn't designed around. My last boyfriend told me I was too much, Maya said. She wasn't sure why she was telling him. She almost never talked about Derek, but something about Marcus made locked doors inside her swing open. He said he couldn't see a future with someone who couldn't do all the normal things, hiking, dancing at our wedding, running around the backyard with our kids. Marcus's jaw tightened. He sounds like an idiot. He wasn't, she said. That's the worst part. He was actually a decent guy. He just couldn't handle this. She gestured toward her chair. It is a lot. It changes everything. Where we can go, what we can do, how far in advance we have to plan access. It's exhausting. Not everyone's built for that long term. Maya. What? Can I tell you something else? Okay. I've got a permanent limp from that accident, Marcus said. Some days my leg hurts so bad I can barely walk. I've got a 3-year-old who wakes up screaming about monsters under her bed. I work 60-hour weeks and still barely make ends meet some months. My life is not easy. It's not normal. I stopped looking for somebody who wants normal a long time ago. Maya couldn't respond. What I want, he went on, is somebody who gets it. Someone who knows what it's like when life doesn't match the plan you made at 20. Someone who still shows up anyway. And from what I've seen tonight, Maya Chen, you show up. I was almost an hour late, she whispered. You still came, Marcus said. That counts. They ended up closing the restaurant. The waitress had to drop 3 different hints before Maya and Marcus realized it was nearly 11, and they were the last people there. I should go, Maya said, even though she didn't want to. I've got a session with Tyler at 10 tomorrow. I should probably sleep. Yeah, I've got to get home to Lily. My mom's got her tonight, but she'll be sleeping. I'd like to be there when she wakes up. They headed for the exit together, Marcus walking slowly beside her, adjusting his pace to match her wheels without fanfare. The door cooperated better on the way out. In the parking lot, Maya stopped beside her van. Marcus hovered, hands in his pockets, like he had something stuck behind his teeth. I had a really good time, she said. Thank you for waiting, for all of it. I had a great time too, he said. Can I see you again? Maybe this weekend I could bring Lily, if that's okay. She loves the park. You want me to meet your daughter after one date? Maya asked. Isn't that fast? Is it? Marcus frowned. You tell me. If it is, say no. I'll wait. Maya thought about all the dates that had ended in awkward goodbyes. Men who never texted again, never asked for a second try. Thought about how Marcus had spent 3 hours treating her like a person, not a problem. No, she said. I'd love to meet her. He smiled, a wide, honest smile that made her chest ache in a strange, good way. Saturday, noon. Cheeseman Park, he said. We'll be there. He bent down and hugged her. An actual hug, not the stilted half-embrace people did when they weren't sure how to hug someone in a wheelchair. He wrapped his arms around her shoulders and held her, and Maya breathed in sawdust and coffee and something warm and familiar. Stop apologizing for things that aren't your fault, Marcus murmured into her hair. At least with me, you don't have to. I'll buy it. Then he limped away across the lot, climbed into a dusty pickup and drove off, giving one last wave. Maya sat there for a long time, wheels still. She had no idea what had just happened or what to do with the new warmth in her chest. For the first time in 2 years, she wasn't dreading whatever came next. She was actually looking forward to it. Saturday came faster than she expected. Maya changed her outfit 4 times before settling on jeans and a blue sweater Tina swore made her eyes pop. She spent 20 whole minutes on her hair, which was ridiculous for just the park. But she couldn't stop thinking she was about to meet Marcus's daughter. That felt big. She got to Cheeseman Park at 11:45, early for once, and chose a spot near the playground where she could watch the parking lot. Families, couples with dogs, joggers weaving by. Maya suddenly felt hyper-aware of the space her wheelchair took up on the path. She shifted herself for the third time when a little voice shouted, "Daddy, look, she has wheels." Maya turned. Marcus was walking toward her, leaning slightly on his bad leg, holding the hand of a tiny girl with dark curls and two puffballs, a T-Rex t-shirt, and bright pink light-up sneakers. Lily Williams might have been the cutest human being Maya had ever seen. "Maya," Marcus called, smiling that same warm smile. "You're early." "I know," Maya said. "I surprised myself." Lily stared at the wheelchair, not with fear or pity, just pure curiosity, the kind only a 3-year-old who hasn't learned discomfort yet can manage. "Hi," Lily said. I'm Lily. I'm 3.5. What's your name?" "I'm Maya. I like your shirt." Lily glanced down like she'd forgotten what she was wearing. "This is Rex. He's my favorite dinosaur because he has tiny arms, and that's funny. Why do you have wheels?" "Lily," Marcus began. It's okay," Maya cut in. "I don't mind." She smiled at Lily. "My legs don't work the way yours do, so I use wheels to get around instead of walking. It's like having a really cool chair that goes everywhere with me." Lily considered this, serious as a scientist. "Can it go fast?" "Pretty fast," Maya said. "Can I have a ride?" Maya looked at Marcus. He watched them with a strange mix of worry and hope. "Is that okay with you?" she asked him. "If it's okay with you," he said. Maya patted her lap. "Hop on, dinosaur girl." Lily clambered into her lap with the grace of a toddler. None. And Maya wrapped one arm around her for safety, using the other to push. They rolled down the path at a reasonable clip. "Faster! Go faster!" Lily squealed. Maya pushed harder. They picked up speed. Lily flung her arms out like wings and laughed so loud people turned to smile. Marcus jogged alongside them, his limp more obvious when he moved quickly, but he was laughing too. "This is the best day ever," Lily declared. They stayed at the park for 2 hours. Lily demanded more wheelchair rides, demonstrated her dinosaur walk, and told Maya all about her best friend Emma, her grandma who made amazing cookies, and her daddy who could fix anything. "One time the toilet made a weird noise and Daddy fixed it with a wrench and tape," she said proudly as they sat on a bench. "He's really smart." "I believe it," Maya said. "Is your daddy my boyfriend?" Lily blinked. "Emma's mom has a boyfriend and he brings her presents." "Are you going to bring Daddy presents?" "Maybe," Maya said. "What kind of presents does he like?" "Tools and coffee," Lily whispered. "And chocolate. But he says he's not supposed to because it makes him hyper." "I'll remember that," Maya promised. Marcus returned with ice cream, chocolate for him, strawberry for Lily, vanilla for Maya. "What are you two whispering about?" he asked. "Nothing," Lily said, clearly lying. "Maya, don't tell him." "Tell me what?" "I'll never tell," Maya said solemnly, and Lily dissolved into giggles. Marcus sat close enough that their arms almost touched. "She likes you," he murmured. "I like her too," Maya said. "She's incredible." "She's a handful," Marcus said. "But yeah, she's my whole world." As they listened to Lily chatter about dinosaurs, Maya felt something dangerous bloom inside her, hope, belonging. And under that, quiet but insistent, the old voice that sounded like Derek. "This won't last. He'll get tired of you. You're too much work. Enjoy it. It never lasts." She shoved the voice down and focused on the sticky, strawberry-covered little girl who thought wheels were the coolest thing ever. The weeks that followed were some of the best Maya had had in years. She and Marcus slipped into a rhythm. Dinners twice a week when schedules allowed, weekend outings with Lily, late-night phone calls when Maya couldn't sleep after a hard day at the center, and Marcus was still up because Lily had nightmares. "She dreams about monsters," Marcus told her one night, voice tired. "Same dream every time. Something's chasing her and she can't run fast enough." "That's hard. For both of you," Maya said. "Yeah, I just hold her till she crashes. Could be an hour, could be 2. But what else am I supposed to do? She's scared. She needs me." Maya thought of Tyler and all the kids who needed someone to sit with them in the dark. "You're a good dad, Marcus," she said. "I'm trying," he replied. "Some days I feel like I'm barely keeping my head above water. Work's wild. We got this big contract to restore a Victorian in Congress Park. It's more than I've ever taken on. I've got 3 guys, and we're all doing 60-hour weeks, and I still barely make it to Lily's daycare before they close." "Do you need help?" Maya asked. "Not with construction," she added quickly. "With Lily. I could pick her up some days when you're running late." Silence stretched. "You'd do that?" he asked. "Of course. I love that kid." "Maya, you don't have to. I want to," she said. "Let me help." So she started picking up Lily from daycare on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the days Marcus's job site was farthest from town. She'd roll into Little Stars Learning Center, and Lily would sprint across the room yelling, "Maya!" like they hadn't seen each other in years. Daycare staff gave Maya curious looks at first, woman in a wheelchair picking up someone else's child, but Lily's obvious joy smoothed everything over. "We're going to Maya's house," Lily announced. "She has paint and we make pictures. She's my daddy's girlfriend and she has wheels." Maya took Lily back to her apartment, set her up at the kitchen table with paper and markers, and let her draw while Maya prepped for sessions or worked on her own art. When Marcus finished, he'd come by to pick Lily up, usually staying for dinner. Those nights became Maya's favorite. "You're good with her," Marcus said one evening while Lily watched a dinosaur documentary, allegedly winding down and actually getting a second wind. "Better than anyone she's been around. Even my mom says so, and my mom does not hand out compliments." "She's easy to love," Maya said. "So are you," Marcus replied. Her heart skipped. They hadn't tossed around the word love yet. They'd been orbiting it for 2 months. Marcus... "I know, too fast," he said. "I'm sorry, He scrubbed a hand over his face. "I wasn't expecting you. Or this. And I don't want to scare you off. But I also don't want to pretend I don't feel what I feel." "What do you feel?" she whispered. "Like maybe I found something I didn't even know I was looking for." Maya didn't know what to say, so she leaned in and kissed him. He kissed her back, slow and careful, and her eyes stung. "You!" Lily's voice shrieked from the doorway. "You're kissing!" They pulled apart, laughing, while Lily made dramatic gagging noises and demanded to know why grown-ups were so gross. It was perfect. It was terrifying. By month 3, Maya had lost count of how many times she'd apologized, and Marcus had told her to stop. She apologized when she was late, often. When she was tired, more often. When her chair scraped his doorframe. When she couldn't manage the 3 steps to his mom's porch without help. When they had to cancel plans because someone had blocked the only accessible parking spot. "I'm sorry," she'd say every time. "Maya," he'd say, "stop apologizing. I'm not mad. This isn't your fault." But her apologies were as automatic as breathing. She'd spent 17 years being told directly and indirectly that her existence was inconvenient, that she took up too much space, required too much planning. Even though Marcus never treated her that way, she couldn't stop waiting for the day he would. She was sure it came on a Tuesday in June. She'd just wrapped a session with Tyler, who had come so far it made her chest ache. Now he painted bright landscapes, open skies, a figure with one leg on a hillside, smiling. "That's me," he said proudly, pointing at the little person. "In the future, when I'm a grown-up." "What are you doing in the future?" Maya asked. "Being an artist like you." She had to blink hard. "That's a great goal, Tyler. I think you're going to get there." Her phone buzzed. A text from her boss, Carol. "Can you come to my office before you leave? Need to discuss something." Maya's stomach clenched. Need to discuss something was never good. She said her goodbyes, then wheeled into Carol's office, heart pounding. "Maya, come in," Carol said, smiling. "Close the door." Maya did, nervous. "I'll get right to it," Carol said. "The board has been reviewing our programs, and they're incredibly impressed with what you've built with art therapy. The progress we've seen with kids like Tyler, that's exactly what we've been trying to achieve." "Thank you," Maya said, throat tight, "which is why I'd like to offer you the position of program director." "I'm sorry, what?" The words flew out. "Director of the entire art therapy program," Carol repeated. You'd supervise therapists, shape curriculum, manage budgets, speak at conferences. It's a big step up. More responsibility, more visibility, more pay. She paused. It's also more hours, more travel, more demands on your time. I want to be honest about that. Maya's mind spun. This was everything she'd worked toward. A chance to help more kids on a bigger scale. But more hours meant less time with Marcus and Lily. More travel meant missed dinners and canceled park days. More stress meant more exhaustion, more apologies, more chances for Marcus to realize she really was too much. Can I think about it? She asked. Of course, Carol said. Take a week. Talk to your family, partner, whoever. Let me know by next Tuesday. Maya left feeling like she was at the edge of a cliff, staring down at two versions of her future and having no idea which one would break her. That night, she was supposed to have dinner at Marcus's. Lily was at his mom's for a sleepover. Rare, kid-free time. Maya almost canceled. She typed out, "Something came up. Not feeling well. Can we reschedule?" 3 different ways. But Marcus's voice echoed in her head. You show up, that counts. So she showed up. He greeted her with a kiss and the smell of garlic and tomatoes. Hey, you okay? He asked, brow furrowing. You look stressed. Long day, she said. Come on in, I made pasta. Nothing fancy, but it's food. They ate at his tiny kitchen table. Maya tried to be present, but her mind kept circling the promotion like a hawk. Okay, Marcus said finally, setting down his fork. What's going on? You've barely said 10 words. I'm sorry, she started. I'm just tired. Maya, he said gently, talk to me. She toyed with her fork. My boss offered me a promotion. His face lit up. That's amazing. What is it? Program director. It's huge. It's what I've been working for. So why do you look like someone died? He asked softly. Because it means more hours, more travel, more responsibility, more of me being exhausted and unavailable and canceling plans. She forced herself to meet his eyes. More of everything that makes me hard to be with. And you think that's going to be a problem? He asked. I think it might be, she said quietly. For who? Marcus asked. For you. For us? For this? He gestured between them. You and Lily deserve someone who can show up, she said. Soccer games, birthdays, Sunday dinners, someone who isn't constantly apologizing for being too busy, too tired, too... me. Maya, stop. I'm serious, she said. This promotion will make everything harder. You've been so patient, but there's going to come a point where you realize I'm just too much. I'd rather... Stop! His voice sharpened. She fell silent. Marcus pushed back his chair and knelt next to her wheelchair, putting them eye to eye like he always did when something mattered. He took her hands. I need you to really hear me, he said. Not halfway. Not while you're planning your next apology. She almost laughed. Okay. That job sounds incredible, he said. It sounds like recognition you deserve for busting your ass. And yeah, it'll mean more hours and stress and complicated schedules. But you know what else it will be? What? She whispered. It'll be you doing what you love at a higher level. You helping more kids like Tyler. You being exactly who you are. Ambitious, dedicated, stubborn, passionate. All the things that made me fall for you. Her throat closed. You said love, she whispered. I know, he said steadily. I meant it. He brushed away a tear she hadn't realized had fallen. I didn't fall in love with some fantasy version of you who works 9 to 5 and never has a late night. I fell in love with the woman who shows up in paint-stained scrubs after 12-hour days. The woman who spends her time helping traumatized kids. The woman who picks up my daughter and lets her paint dinosaurs at our kitchen table, even when it makes your own schedule harder. He swallowed. I love you, Maya. Not a smaller version, not a less ambitious version. You. And if this job is what you want, I want you to take it. We'll figure out the logistics. What if it's too hard? She asked. What if you get tired of it? Tired of me? What if I don't? He shot back. What if I surprise you? What if I'm the guy who actually sticks around when things get complicated? She had no answer. No one had ever offered that before. I'm scared, she admitted. I've watched someone look me in the eye and swear they could handle my life, and then slowly start to resent me. I can't watch that happen with you. It would break me. Then don't watch it happen, Marcus said softly. Trust me instead. He stood and pulled her into an awkward hug, bending to reach her. I know someone hurt you, he said. You've been carrying that for years, but I'm not him. I'm not going to wake up one day and decide you're too much. You're not trouble, Maya. You're the best thing that's happened to me since Lily was born. She cried then, ugly, heaving sobs she'd held back for years. Marcus held her through all of it. When she finally calmed, mascara smeared, she sniffed. I probably look awful. You look like somebody who just dropped 100-pound weight, he said. You look lighter. I feel lighter, she admitted. Good. He kissed her forehead. So, are you taking the job? She thought of Tyler, of the other kids, of the chance to build something bigger than herself, of how terrifying it was to want that much. I'm going to take it, she said. Marcus smiled. Then, congratulations, Director Chen. For the first time in as long as she could remember, she didn't apologize. She didn't apologize when she stayed late that night and fell asleep on his couch. She didn't apologize when she woke up at 2 a.m. with a blanket over her and a note on the coffee table. Didn't want to wake you. Breakfast whenever you're ready. She didn't apologize when she texted Carol to say yes. She just said yes. And she was starting to realize that was allowed. The first month as program director was everything she'd dreamed of and everything she'd feared tangled together. She was making a real, measurable impact. She hired 2 new therapists, expanded the program to 3 more schools, secured a grant for a summer intensive for kids with trauma histories. Tyler graduated from the program and started 4th grade with a confidence she barely recognized. The hours, though, were brutal. 60-hour weeks turned into 70. Maya spent days in meetings and nights buried in budgets and reports. She canceled dinner with Marcus 3 times in 2 weeks. She missed Lily's first day of preschool because a conference call ran 2 hours long. She fell asleep at her desk so often that Carol started leaving blankets in her office. You need to slow down, Marcus said one night over the phone. It was 11 p.m. Maya was still at the center, surrounded by paperwork. I know, she said. I just have to get through this first phase. Once things settle? You've been saying that for a month, Marcus said gently. I know, She caught herself. Right, no apologizing. He sighed. Lily asked about you today. She wanted to know when you're coming to paint dinosaurs again. Maya's chest ached. Tell her this weekend, I promise. Saturday afternoon, I'm all hers. I'll tell her, he said. Just don't promise if you can't follow through, okay? She doesn't get the whole scheduling conflict thing. She only knows Maya said she'd come, and then she didn't. There was a tired edge to his voice. Not anger, not exactly, but close. I'll be there, Maya said. I swear. Saturday morning, she woke at 6 to an email from the board president requesting an emergency budget revision for Monday. She told herself she'd finish by noon and leave. She didn't. A therapist called in a child abuse report, and Maya got pulled into crisis documentation. By the time she looked at the clock again, it was 3:47. 14 missed calls from Marcus. Her stomach dropped. She called him. He picked up on the first ring. Where are you? His voice was tight, controlled. At work, she said. Marcus, I'm so sorry. There was an emergency and I lost track of time. Lily's been sitting by the window for 3 hours, he said, his control fraying. She put on her painting shirt at noon because you said you were coming. She wouldn't eat lunch because she wanted to wait for you. Maya closed her eyes. I'm leaving now. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't bother, he said. The words hit like a punch. What? She finally ate something and she's watching a movie, he said. If you show up now, you'll just wind her up again. Stay at work. Finish whatever's so important. Marcus, please. I'm not mad at you, Maya, he said quietly. I'm tired. That's different. I've got to go take care of my daughter. He hung up. Maya stared at her phone in the empty office, feeling the weight of every choice she'd made. She'd done it again, chosen work over the people she loved, broken a promise, proved every cruel story she'd ever believed about herself. You'll always be alone, Derek's voice whispered. No one wants someone who's never available. Maybe he'd been right. She didn't go to Marcus's that night. She drove home, sat in the dark, and tried to figure out when exactly she'd become the kind of person she'd always feared she was. At midnight, she texted, "I'm so sorry, I don't know how to make this right." No response. Sunday crawled by. She worked because she didn't know what else to do, checking her phone every few minutes. Nothing. She thought about going to his house, throwing herself on his porch, begging. But what would she say? That she'd do better. She'd said that before. Monday morning, a text from Tina. "What happened with Marcus? He won't talk about it, but he looks awful. I messed up." "Bad," Maya replied. "Fix it," Tina shot back. "I don't know how," Maya answered. "Figure it out," Tina wrote. "That man loves you. Don't throw that away because you're scared." Scared. Was that it? Was she sabotaging herself because some deep part was still sure she was unlovable? That her career was the only thing she'd ever be good at? Maybe it didn't matter why. The outcome was the same. A little girl waiting by a window and a man too tired to pretend everything was fine. Tuesday night, Marcus called. Maya answered with her heart in her throat. "Hi." "Hey," he said. His tone was flat. "Can we talk? In person?" "Yes, when?" "Tonight. My mom's got Lily. 8 o'clock?" "I'll be there," she said. She left work at 6:30, the earliest she'd left in weeks, changed into non-work clothes, did what she could with her hair, then headed over. Marcus opened the door and stepped back. He looked wrecked, dark circles, tight shoulders, a kind of exhaustion that went deeper than sleep. "Thanks for coming," he said. "Of course," she replied. She rolled into the living room and stopped, facing him. "Marcus, Let me go first," he said. He sat on the couch and gestured to the space opposite. "Please." She nodded. "I've been thinking a lot," he began, "about us, about what I want, about what's fair to Lily." He took a breath. "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Can you do that?" "Yes," she said. "Do you actually want this?" he asked. "A relationship, a family? Because I know you love your work. I'd never ask you to give it up, but I have to know if there's space in your life for me and Lily, or if we're always going to be what you squeeze in around the edges when there's nothing else." The question landed like a stone. "That's not how I see you," she said. "Then why does it feel like that?" he asked gently. "Why does it feel like every time we make plans, I'm holding my breath waiting to see if something more important will come up? Why am I the one explaining to my daughter that Maya's busy, Maya has to work, Maya couldn't make it?" "You're right," she said, voice rough. "You're completely right, and I don't have a good excuse. I just got scared." "Scared of what?" he asked. "Of this," she said, gesturing at him, the room, everything. "Of how much I love you and Lily. Of how much it will hurt if I lose you. I think part of me has been waiting for you to leave since day one. So when things got hard at work, I ran to the one thing I knew wouldn't leave. My job. My career doesn't walk away when I disappoint it." "So you pushed us away before we could push you away," he said quietly. "Yes," she whispered, "and I know how stupid that is. I know I'm the one who hurt you. But Derek, my ex, he told me I'd always be alone because of my job. He said no one would ever choose me over the inconvenience of being with me. And I believed him. Somewhere deep down I still do, even after everything you've done to prove him wrong." Marcus was silent for a moment. Then he stood up and knelt in front of her chair again. "Maya, look at me." She did. "I'm not Derek," he said. "I'm not going to bail because your job is demanding, or because you roll instead of walk, or because your schedule is messy. My life doesn't fit some perfect picture either. I'm a widowed black single dad with a limp and a construction business that eats 60 hours a week. We're both a lot. That's not the problem." "Then what is?" she asked, tears starting. "The problem is you keep trying to end this before I have a chance to prove I'm staying," he said. "You decide how I'm going to feel and what I'm going to do before I can answer for myself. You make choices for both of us based on fear, not facts." He squeezed her hands. "I can handle you being busy. I can handle canceled plans sometimes. What I can't handle is feeling like you've always got one foot out the door, ready to run because you're sure I'll hurt you eventually." "I don't know how to stop," she choked. "I don't know how to trust this." "You learn," he said, "day by day. You choose to believe me, And when you mess up, and you will, because we both will, you don't run. You come back. You say you're sorry. You try again. That sounds terrifying, she admitted. It is, he said, lips quirking. But that's the only way this works. I'm not asking you to be perfect, Maya. I'm asking you to be present, to stay even when it's hard, to let me in instead of shutting me out. I want that, she said, more than anything. Then stop trying to protect yourself from heartbreak that hasn't happened, he said. Stop living in the shadow of what Derek said. Be here, with me, with Lily, and let's figure it out together. I don't deserve you, she whispered. That's bull and you know it, he said. You deserve someone who loves you exactly as you are. Busy, brilliant, stubborn, rolling in late with dragon paintings in your bag. I'm telling you I'm that person, if you'll let me be. I'm so sorry about Saturday, she said. About Lily, I'll make it up to her, I swear. I know you will, he said. She's already forgiven you. Kids are resilient. I just needed you to understand why I was hurt. I do, she said. I really do. Good. He stood and held out his hand. Now come here. She let him pull her in as far as her chair allowed. He wrapped his arms around her. She pressed her face into his chest and breathed him in. Sawdust, soap, something warm. I love you, she mumbled into his shirt. I'm awful at showing it, but I love you so much it scares me. I love you too, he said. Now, let's order pizza and put on something dumb. You look like you haven't slept in a week. I haven't. Then it's definitely dumb movie night, he said. No thinking aloud. They spent the evening on the couch, her chair parked beside them, some over-the-top action movie playing mostly unnoticed. She fell asleep before the third explosion. When she woke at 2 a.m., blanket over her legs and Marcus snoring quietly at her side, she felt something she hadn't felt for a long time. Safe. The next few weeks were different. Maya made changes. She delegated, trusted her team, set boundaries for the first time in her career. Left the office by 6 p.m. at least 3 days a week. Put her phone on silent during dinner. Showed up when she said she would. It wasn't perfect. Emergencies still blew up plans. She still apologized more than Marcus liked. But she was trying, really trying, and he could feel the difference. Lily noticed too. You're here a lot now, Lily announced one afternoon, standing beside Maya's chair with markers in both hands. I like it. Are you going to live with us? Maya laughed. I don't know, Bug. That's something your daddy and I would have to talk about. You should, Lily said seriously. Then we could paint every day and you could sleep in Daddy's room instead of on the couch. Lily. Maya felt her face go hot. What? Lily asked, genuinely confused. Emma's mom's boyfriend sleeps in her room. Emma told me. That's what people do when they're in love. Your friend Emma knows a lot, Maya said weakly. She's very smart, Lily said gravely. So, are you going to marry my daddy? Maya opened her mouth, then closed it. The question was so simple. For Lily, love and marriage were straightforward. For Maya, nothing had ever been simple. I don't know, she said honestly, but I love your daddy very much, and I love you, and I'm not going anywhere. Lily mulled this over, then nodded. Okay, can we paint dinosaurs now? Yes, Bug, Maya said, heart pounding. We can paint dinosaurs. That night, after Lily was asleep, Maya told Marcus about the conversation. She asked if I was going to marry you, Maya said, still a little dazed. Marcus's eyebrows shot up. What did you say? That I didn't know, that I love you, that I'm not going anywhere, she said. Good answers, he said quietly. Do you think about it? Marriage? Sometimes, she admitted. Do you? Sometimes, he said. He took her hand. Not right now. Not because I don't want it. I do. But we've been through a lot in a short time. I want us solid before we add more layers. That's smart, she said. I'm occasionally smart, he grinned. Don't tell anyone. I've got a reputation. Your secret's safe with me, she said. For the first time, she let herself imagine a future that wasn't just her and her job, a future with Marcus and Lily, where she didn't have to choose between ambition and love. I want that, she said softly. Marriage, a family, all of it, with you. I know, he said, squeezing her hand. When we're ready. We've got time. Do we? She asked. We've got all the time in the world, he said. No rush, no deadline, just us figuring it out one day at a time. For once, she believed him. She had no idea the test was coming so soon. The call came on a Thursday in October, 3 days before their 6-month anniversary. Maya was in a team meeting when her phone buzzed. She glanced down, expecting another email. Instead, she saw Marcus's mom's name. Linda never called her. They texted about Lily sometimes, but calls, never. "Excuse me a second," Maya said, backing her chair out of the conference room. She answered in the hallway. "Hi, Linda, is everything okay?" "Maya," Linda's voice shook. "There's been an accident. Marcus is at Denver Health. They won't tell me much because I'm not his emergency contact, but they said it's serious." The world tilted. "What happened?" Maya asked. "He was on a job site. Something fell, I don't know what. They called me because Lily's emergency contact is the daycare, and they called them, and..." Linda's voice broke. "I have Lily. She's fine. But Marcus... I don't know how bad it is." "I'm on my way," Maya said. She hung up, hands shaking so hard she almost dropped the phone. She rolled back into the room just long enough to say, "Family emergency. I have to go." Then practically flew through the building, out to her van, and into traffic. The whole drive, one thought chased her. This is it. This is when it all gets taken away. Of course it is. You don't get to keep good things. She found parking, transferred, dragged her chair out faster than she should have, and pushed through the ER doors so hard she nearly collided with a nurse. "Marcus Williams," she said, breathless. "Construction accident. I need to see him." "Are you family?" the nurse asked. "I'm his girlfriend," she said. The word felt too small. "Please, I need to know if he's okay." "Let me check," the nurse said. "Wait here." Maya waited, feeling like her skin was 2 sizes too small. Doctors and nurses moved around her, efficient and calm. She'd been on the other side of this once, in her own hospital bed at 17, being told she'd never walk again. Being on this side was worse. A different nurse appeared. "You're here for Marcus Williams?" "Yes," Maya said. "He's in surgery," the nurse said. "A beam crushed his lower leg at a job site. They're operating now. The doctor will come talk to you. You can wait in the surgical family area." "How bad is it?" Maya whispered. "I can't share specifics until the surgeon finishes," the nurse said carefully. "But he was conscious when he came in. That's a good sign. He asked for someone named Maya." Her throat closed. "That's me," she said. "Please tell him I'm here. If he wakes up, tell him I'm here." "I will," the nurse said. The surgical waiting area was cold and too bright, full of people wearing the same hollow expression. Maya found a corner where her chair wouldn't block anyone and called Linda. "I'm at the hospital," she said. "He's in surgery, his leg. They said there was significant trauma. I don't know more yet." "I told him that job was too much," Linda sobbed. "He's been working so many hours." "Linda," Maya cut in because she needed Linda not to spiral. "He's going to be okay. He has to be. I'll call as soon as I know anything." She hung up and stared at the wall and tried to pray for the first time since she was 17. "Please, please don't take him. I just found him. Please." 2 hours later, a man in scrubs called out, "Family of Marcus Williams?" Maya rolled forward. "I'm his girlfriend. His mom has his daughter. I'm the closest thing to family here." "I'm Dr. Patel," he said. "I operated on his leg. He's stable." Stable. Relief slammed into her so hard she felt dizzy. "The injury was severe," Dr. Patel continued. "A steel beam crushed his lower leg. We had to repair significant damage to the bone and soft tissue. He'll need extensive rehab." "But he's going to be okay?" Maya asked. "Physically, he should make a full recovery with therapy," the doctor said. "But I need to be honest, the damage was substantial. He already had scar tissue from a previous injury. His mobility will be significantly affected for a while, possibly longer, depending on how he heals." "What does significantly affected mean?" she asked. "It may mean he needs assistance walking for several months," the doctor said. "Possibly a cane long term. We won't know the full picture yet." A cane, more pain, more limitations. Another layer of difficulty for a man who was always on his feet. "Can I see him?" she asked. "He's in recovery," Dr. Patel said. "Groggy, but you can see him. Come with me." Marcus looked smaller in the bed, washed out under the fluorescent lights. His leg was immobile in a complicated brace. Tubes and wires snaked everywhere. Maya rolled up and took his hand. Hey, she whispered. I'm here. His eyes fluttered open, unfocused, then sharpened when he found her. Maya, he rasped. You came? Of course I came, she said. How are you feeling? Like a building fell on me, he mumbled. Oh, wait, one did. That's not funny, she said automatically. It's a little funny, he murmured, squeezing her hand weakly. Lily? Is Lily... Ugh. She's with your mom, Maya said quickly. She's fine. She doesn't know yet. I wanted to wait until I could tell her you're okay. I'm okay, he said, eyes drifting. Doc say that? They said you're stable, she said carefully. Your leg's pretty messed up, but you're going to recover. He stared at the ceiling for a moment. How messed up? He asked. You should talk to the doctor about specifics, she said. Maya, he said, voice low. Tell me. She inhaled. They said you might need a cane, that your mobility is going to be affected for a while, maybe long term. They don't know yet. His jaw clenched. She watched the information sink in, the way it would touch everything in his life, work, parenting, pride. Okay, he said finally. Okay, she repeated. What else am I supposed to say? He asked, turning his head to look at her. I'm alive. Lily still has her dad. The rest we'll figure out. Tears burned her eyes. You're not upset? I'm devastated, he said flatly. I'm scared. I don't know how I'm supposed to work or keep up with Lily or pay for all this if I can't walk right, but me being mad isn't going to change it. So I'm choosing to be grateful I'm still here, that you're here, that my daughter's safe. Ask me again tomorrow when the pain meds wear off. That's very mature of you, she said. I'm high on drugs, he muttered. Don't give me too much credit. She laughed, broken and wet. I love you, she said. Love you too, he murmured, eyes closing again. Stay? I'm not going anywhere, she said, and she didn't. She stayed all night, dozing in her chair, waking whenever nurses came in. At 6 a.m., when he woke up more fully and with far more pain, she watched the fear under his calm surface. I can't work, he said hoarsely. I've got 3 guys depending on me for paychecks, contracts I can't finish. His voice cracked. I've got nothing saved, Maya. Everything goes to daycare, the mortgage, the business. If I can't work for months, how do we... Stop, she said firmly. She rolled closer and gripped his hand. You're not alone in this. You have your mom. You have Tina. You have me. We will figure it out. You shouldn't have to, he said. You shouldn't have to... Don't finish that sentence, she cut in. You don't get to decide what I should or shouldn't have to do. I love you. I love Lily. I'm here whether you think you deserve it or not. I'm scared, he whispered. What if I'm not the same after this? What if I can't be the dad Lily needs or the partner you deserve? Marcus Williams, she said, leaning forward until their faces were close. You are the best man I've ever known. You're patient and kind, and you show up even when it's hard. A limp won't change that. A cane won't change that. Whatever happens with your leg, you're still you. And I fell in love with you, not your ability to walk without help. His eyes filled with tears. It was the first time she'd ever seen him cry. I don't know how to need help, he admitted. I've been doing everything alone for so long. I know, she said, but you're not alone anymore. Let me help. Let your mom help. Let Tina help. Needing people isn't weakness, Marcus. It's human. When did you get so wise? He asked, trying for a smile. I had a good teacher, she said. Some black single dad who keeps telling me to stop apologizing for existing. Maybe it's your turn to listen to your own advice. The next few weeks were rough. Marcus came home with a leg brace, pain meds, PT appointments, and a mountain of frustration. He couldn't do stairs, couldn't drive, couldn't scoop Lily up when she ran at him yelling, "Up, Daddy!" He battled crutches, hated the temporary wheelchair the hospital sent, snapped at everyone. I can do it myself, he muttered for what felt like the 100th time when Maya offered an arm from the couch to the bathroom. I know you can, she said. You just don't have to. Maya, if you hover one more time, I'm going to lose my mind, he snapped. She backed off, gave him space, watched him struggle and fall and curse and try again. She knew too well what it felt like to lose the body you imagined you'd always have. But she also knew that accepting help wasn't giving up. It was survival. Lily adapted fastest. Daddy's leg has a big owie, she told anyone who asked, completely accepting. We can't jump on him, and we can't make him chase us, but it's okay. Maya has wheels, so she can push me instead. One night, Marcus apologized for not being able to carry Lily to bed. It's okay, Lily said solemnly. Maya can push me in her chair. It's like I have two people with wheels now. Marcus had looked up at Maya over Lily's head with an expression that said more than words. Later, when Lily was asleep, he sighed. She's right, he said. I've been acting like needing help is the end of the world, and my 3-year-old just reminded me you've been doing this for 17 years. It's different, Maya said. I had time to adjust. Not that different, he said, reaching for her hand. I've been a terrible patient, pushing you away because I'm embarrassed and angry and don't know how to be the one who needs instead of the one who provides. I'm sorry. You don't have to. Yeah, I do, he interrupted. I've been telling you for months not to apologize for things that aren't your fault. Then I turn around and make you feel bad for trying to help me. That's not okay. You're dealing with a lot, she said gently. So are you, he said. You're working full-time, helping with Lily, driving me to PT 3 times a week, dealing with my mood swings, and you haven't complained once. I don't deserve you. Now you sound like me, she said. Maybe we're both idiots who don't know how to accept love, he said with a faint smile. Maybe, she agreed. I'm going to do better, he said. I'm going to let you help without being a jerk about it, and I'm going to stop pretending a cane or a chair or whatever makes me less of a man or less of a father. That's a big shift, she said. Lily helped, he admitted. Apparently having 2 people with wheels is very exciting. She asked if we can race. She'll probably win. She's ruthless. She gets it from you, Maya said. They sat in easy silence, both feeling something new settle between them. The crisis hadn't broken them. It had knit them closer. 6 weeks after the accident, Marcus walked across the physical therapy room with a cane for the first time. It wasn't pretty. His face was tight with effort. His grip on the handle was white-knuckled, but he moved. 1 step, then another and another, until he reached the far wall and turned. Maya watched from her chair near the door, tears streaming down her face. Don't cry, he puffed. I'll think I did something wrong. You did everything right, she said, swiping at her cheeks. You did something amazing. I walked 10 feet with a stick, he said. That's not amazing. 6 weeks ago, you couldn't stand, she reminded him. Today, you walked across a room. That is amazing, and you are absolutely allowed to own it. He made his way back, slower this time. When he sat beside her, his whole body sagged with fatigue. I hate this, he admitted. I hate being slow. I hate needing the cane. I hate that everything takes 10 times longer. I know, she said. How'd you do it? He asked. When you first got hurt, how'd you keep going? She thought about 17-year-old her, furious and broken in a hospital bed, about months of learning to push and transfer and navigate a world that didn't make room for her. I didn't have a choice, she said. I could adapt or give up, and giving up wasn't an option. There were things I wanted to do, people I wanted to be there for, so I adapted, 1 day at a time, 1 small victory at a time. 1 small victory, he repeated. Today's victory, she said. You walked across a room. Tomorrow's might be a little farther. Or picking up Lily without losing your balance. They stack up. That's how you get your life back. He looked at her for a long moment. I love you, he said. Have I mentioned that recently? Not in the last few hours, she teased. I love you, he said again, and I don't know what I'd have done without you this past month. You'd have survived, she said. You're stronger than you think. Maybe, he said, but I'm glad I didn't have to find out alone. 3 months after the accident, Marcus stood in his kitchen making pancakes for the first time since the beam fell. He still used the cane. The doctor said he probably always would for long walks or uneven ground. He'd mostly made peace with that. Watching Lily bounce in dinosaur pajamas while he flipped pancakes one-handed felt like a victory. Daddy, can I have chocolate chips in mine? Lily asked, tugging his shirt. You had chocolate chips yesterday, he said. But yesterday was yesterday, she said. Today is today. That is some strong logic, he said. Please, pretty please, with a T-Rex on top? He looked over at Maya, who sat at the table with coffee, watching them with a look that clenched his heart. "What do you think?" he asked her. "I think it's Saturday," Maya said. "And Saturdays are special. Special days require chocolate chips." Lily cheered. Marcus sighed and grabbed the bag. "You're going to spoil her," he muttered. "That's my job," Maya said. I'm the fun one." "I thought I was the fun one," he said. "You're the pancake one," she said. "Different category." They ate together, Lily chattering about her upcoming 4th birthday and her need for a dinosaur cake, dinosaur decorations, and maybe a real dinosaur if Maya could find one at work. "I don't think hospitals have dinosaurs, Bug," Maya said. "But you work with sick people," Lily insisted. "Maybe a dinosaur got sick and you can bring it home." "I'll keep an eye out," Maya promised. After breakfast, Marcus did dishes while Maya helped Lily get dressed. Standing at the sink, hands in soapy water, he thought about how different his life was from a year ago. A year ago, he'd been a tired black single dad trying to keep his business and his sanity afloat. A year ago, he'd agreed to a blind date mostly because Tina refused to stop texting. A year ago, he'd sat alone at a restaurant for almost an hour, wondering if the woman he was supposed to meet would walk through the door at all. Now he was in a kitchen making pancakes while that same woman helped his daughter choose a sparkly outfit. His legs still ached in a way it probably always would, and none of that changed the fact that he wasn't alone. Maya rolled back in with Lily perched on her lap, both of them giggling. "We have a fashion emergency," Maya announced. "Lily's informed me that her purple dress is unacceptable because it doesn't have sparkles, and apparently sparkles are mandatory on Saturdays." "I was unaware of the sparkle rule," Marcus said. "It's new," Lily said. "I just made it." "Well, if it's a new rule, we should follow it," Marcus said. "Check my closet. There might be something sparkly from last Christmas." Lily scrambled off Maya's lap and dashed to the bedroom. "She's getting so big," Maya said softly. "Feels like yesterday she was just asking if she could ride on my wheels." "Time flies when you're raising a tiny dictator," Marcus said. "A sparkly tiny dictator," Maya corrected. He dried his hands and walked over, lowering himself into the chair beside her. The leg complained, but he ignored it. "Can I talk to you about something?" he asked. Maya's expression shifted. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," he said. "Everything's just good. Better than good." He took a breath. "I've been thinking a lot about us, about Lily, about what I want the future to look like." "Okay," she said, heart speeding up. "When I got hurt, I was terrified," he said. "Not just about my leg or the business or money. I was scared you'd see how messy my life really is and decide it wasn't worth the trouble." "Marcus," she started. "Let me finish," he said gently. He took her hand. "You didn't leave. You showed up. Every day. You drove me to PT, helped with Lily, handled my moods, and never once made me feel like a burden. I know you understand what that feels like because you've spent most of your life being treated like you're too much trouble." Her eyes were shiny. "Where are you going with this?" she asked, laughing through nerves. "You taught me that needing help isn't weakness," he said. "That taking up space isn't something to apologize for. That love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up when things are ugly." "You taught me that too," she whispered. "Then maybe we're even," he said, squeezing her hand. "I want to spend the rest of my life showing up for you. I want to be the person you lean on when things go sideways. I want to watch Lily grow up with you by my side. I want to build something together, bigger than anything either of us could build alone." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Are you—" she started. "I don't have a ring yet," he said quickly. "I wanted to talk to you first, make sure this is what you want. But yeah, Maya, when I do have one, when the time's right, I'm asking you if you'll spend the rest of your life with a man who walks with a cane, makes mediocre pancakes, and loves you more than he knows how to say." "That's not a very traditional proposal," she said, half laughing, half sobbing. "Nothing about us is traditional," he said. "I figured I'd commit." "I love you," she said. "Is that a yes?" he asked. "Ask me again when you've got a ring," she teased. "I want the full experience." He laughed. "Fair, but for the record, when I do ask, what's the answer going to be?" She leaned in and kissed him, soft, sure. "Yes," she said. "It's going to be yes. It's always going to be yes." Good, he said. That's what I was hoping for. Lily ran back in, wearing a sparkly pink tutu over her jeans. I found sparkles. That's beautiful, Bug, Marcus said. Maya, do you like it? Lily asked. I love it, Maya said. You look like a princess. A dinosaur princess, Lily corrected. Those are the best kind, Maya said. Absolutely the best kind, Marcus agreed. He caught Maya's eyes over Lily's head and she smiled. Everything wasn't perfect. It was better, real, messy, theirs. The ring came 3 weeks later. Marcus recruited Tina to help him find something practical for Maya, something that wouldn't snag on her wheels or get in the way at work. They settled on a simple band with a small inset diamond that caught the light without screaming for attention. It's perfect, Tina said when they picked it up. She's going to lose her mind, in a good way. I hope so, Marcus said, staring at the little velvet box. You know she's been waiting, Tina added. She plays it cool, but she texts me like every other day. Do you think he's going to propose soon? Marcus laughed. Good to know I'm not the only nervous one. Nervous? Tina snorted. You? The guy who rebuilt a whole Victorian with 3 dudes and a bum leg? That was work, he said. This is everything. He decided to ask at Lily's 4th birthday party at Cheeseman Park, the same place where Maya first gave Lily a ride on her lap. The party was small. Linda, a few preschool friends, Tina and her husband, some folks from the crew, a couple of Maya's co-workers. Lily was in full command mode, showing off her dinosaur cake and bossing everyone around. Maya watched from her usual spot on the edge of the action, close enough to be involved, far enough not to block anyone. Marcus noticed how she always arranged herself that way, minimizing her space like an old habit. Hey, he said, coming over with 2 plates of cake. You good? I'm great, she said, taking a plate. Just watching. Lily's having the time of her life. She's been talking about this party for 3 months, he said. I think it delivered. She like her presents? Maya asked. She loved them, he said, especially the art stuff from you. She's already planning her first masterpiece. Apparently, it's going to be a dinosaur eating a birthday cake. Very advanced, Maya said. He sat in the chair next to her, cane against his knee. They ate in comfortable silence, watching Lily parade kids around the playground. Can I ask you something? He said. Always, she replied. Are you happy? He asked quietly. Like, really happy. With this, with us. Why are you asking? She frowned. Because before I do what I'm about to do, I need to know you're here because you want this, he said. Not because Lily needs a mom figure, not because you feel like you're supposed to, because you're actually happy. Maya put down her plate and took his hand. Marcus, she said, I've never been happier in my life. I spent 17 years thinking I was too much trouble to love, that I had to apologize for breathing, and then you showed up and told me to stop. And you meant it. You didn't just tolerate my chair, you made room for it. You didn't just put up with my job, you celebrated it. You made me feel like I'm allowed to take up space. That's because you are allowed, he said. I know that now, she said, because of you. So, yeah, I'm happy. Really, really happy. That's exactly what I needed to hear, he said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the box. Because I have something to ask you. Her breath hitched. I know I said I'd wait until I had a ring, he said, flipping the lid open to reveal the simple band. Well, I have a ring, and I don't want to wait anymore. Marcus, she whispered. Maya Chen, he said, voice shaking a little. You rolled into that restaurant 45 minutes late, apologizing for existing, and you've been turning my life upside down ever since. You taught me how to ask for help. You made it safe to need people. You love my daughter like she's yours. You loved me even when I was scared and pushing you away. You weren't that difficult, she said, laughing through tears. I was pretty difficult, he said. But you stayed. I don't want to imagine a life without you. I don't want Lily to grow up without you. I want to build a family with you, whatever that looks like, however complicated it gets. He took the ring out. So, Maya Chen, he said, will you marry me? Yes, she said immediately. No hesitation. Yes, absolutely yes. He slid the ring onto her finger. It fit like it had been waiting for her. He kissed her, and somewhere behind them, Tina started cheering. "Daddy!" Lily yelled. "Are you kissing again?" They broke apart, laughing, as Lily barreled over, frosting on her face and grass in her hair. "What's happening?" she demanded. "Why is everybody weird?" "I asked Maya to marry me," Marcus said, pulling Lily onto his lap, and she said yes. "So Maya's going to be my mommy?" Lily asked, eyes wide. Maya looked at Marcus, then at Lily, heart full to bursting. "If you want me to be," Maya said carefully. "You already had a mommy. I'm not trying to replace her, but I would really love to be part of your family. For real." Us. Lily took this in with grave seriousness, then nodded. "Okay," she said. "But you gotta promise you'll always let me ride on your wheelchair." "I promise," Maya said. "And you have to come to all my birthdays forever," Lily added. "I promise," Maya said again. "And you have to help me make a dinosaur wedding cake," Lily said. Maya laughed. "I think we can arrange that." "Then okay," Lily said. She held out her pinky. "Pinky promise." Maya linked her pinky with Lily's. "Pinky promise." "This is the best birthday ever," Lily declared. "I got a new mommy and a dinosaur cake." "Those are definitely the two best things," Marcus said. "And we can have more cake now?" Lily asked. "Yes, Bug," he said. "We can have more cake." She ran off to demand another slice, and Marcus and Maya sat side by side, his arm around her, her hand resting on his knee. "That went better than I expected," he murmured. "She's pretty incredible," Maya said. "She gets it from me," he said. "And from my mom, and probably from whoever her biological mother was." "Rachel would have liked you," he added quietly after a moment. "She wasn't a bad person, just not ready to be a mom, but she would have been glad Lily found you." "Thank you for saying that," Maya said softly. "Thank you for being that," he replied. They watched Lily terrorize the cake table, watch their friends laugh, watch family gather around something they'd built together. "So," Maya said eventually, glancing at the ring on her finger, at Lily, at Marcus with his cane and crooked smile and eyes that had seen her from that very first night, "we're really doing this." "We're really doing this," he said. "Getting married, becoming a family, the whole thing." "Any regrets?" he asked. "Not a single one," she said. The wedding was 6 months later, in spring, at the community center where Maya worked. It felt right to tie their lives together in the same place she'd rebuilt her own. It was small. Friends, family, kids from the program, Marcus's crew. Lily was the flower girl, of course. She took the job very seriously, scattering petals with surgical precision. Maya wore a simple white dress Tina helped her find, beautiful and practical, hem short enough not to catch in her wheels. Marcus wore a suit, leaned on his cane, and cried the second he saw her. "You're supposed to wait till the vows to cry," Maya whispered when she reached him. "I'm an overachiever," he said thickly. They'd written their own vows. "Maya," Marcus began, voice rough. "When I met you, I was a tired single dad with a construction business and a lot of walls around my heart. I thought I knew what my life would be. I thought I'd figured out how to do it all alone." He smiled. "Then you rolled into that restaurant 45 minutes late, apologizing for being alive, and wrecked every plan I had." Laughter rippled through the room. "You taught me that strength isn't about not needing anyone," he said. "It's about letting people in. It's about being vulnerable enough to ask for help and brave enough to offer it. You showed me that love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone willing to show up day after day when it's hard." He swallowed. "I promise to show up for you. Every day. In scrubs or wedding dresses, in hospitals or kitchens, on good days and bad. I promise to never make you feel like you're too much, because you could never be too much. You are exactly enough, and I am so grateful you chose me." Maya's hands shook as she unfolded her paper. "Marcus," she began, "I spent most of my life apologizing. For being late, for being tired, for taking up space, for needing help, for existing as a disabled woman in a world that kept telling me I was an inconvenience." She looked up at him, this black man who had seen her at her messiest, and stayed. "Then I met you," she said, "and you told me to stop apologizing, and you meant it. You never treated my wheelchair like a problem. You never treated my job like too much. You never treated loving me like a burden. You just loved me. Busy schedule and all. Wheels and all. Ambition and all. Her voice wobbled. She took a breath. I promise to love you without apology, she said. I promise to show up even when it's hard. I promise to be the family that Lily deserves and the partner that you deserve. I promise to stop shrinking myself to make other people comfortable because you showed me that the right person doesn't want me smaller. They want me exactly as I am. She folded the paper. I choose you, Marcus Williams, she finished. Today and every day. No apologies, no conditions, just love. The officiant pronounced them husband and wife. Marcus leaned down to kiss her while Lily cheered and threw her remaining petals in the air. It wasn't a perfect kiss. Marcus was bracing on his cane. Maya had to angle her chair just right. It was a little awkward and entirely, absolutely right. Later, at the reception, Lily climbed into Maya's lap and insisted they dance. This is how we dance, Lily declared as Maya spun them in slow, silly circles, wheels squeaking a little on the floor. This is how we dance, Maya agreed, laughing. Marcus watched from a nearby table, cane beside him, smile so wide his cheeks hurt. Tina plopped into the chair next to him. You did good, Williams, she said, raising her glass. I got lucky, he replied. You both got lucky, she said. To the happy couple, may you have many years of apologizing for nothing and loving each other anyway. I'll drink to that, Marcus said. Maya and Lily rolled past, laughing, and something deep in his chest finally settled. He had a family. Not because of blood or obligation, but because of choice, because of showing up, because two imperfect people had decided to stop apologizing for who they were and build something together. Daddy, Lily shouted, come dance with us. Marcus grabbed his cane and stood. His leg ached like it always would, but it held. It carried him across the floor to his wife and his daughter. Maya took his hand. Lily hugged his leg. They swayed in their own offbeat rhythm while the music played and their people clapped around them. I love you, Maya said. I love you too, he answered. This is the best day ever, Lily announced. Even better than my birthday. Even better than the dinosaur cake. Way better than the dinosaur cake, Marcus laughed. And that's saying something. They stayed like that, wrapped up in each other while the world spun on. Sometimes the right person doesn't need you polished and perfect. They love you exhausted and real, in scrubs or wedding dresses, walking or rolling, with a cane or with wheels. They don't ask you to be smaller. They celebrate you taking up all the space you need. That kind of love, the kind that stays, that shows up, that sees you exactly as you are and chooses you anyway, is worth every hard day, every old scar, every moment of fear. Maya had spent most of her life apologizing for existing. Now, finally, she was done. She was here. She was loved. She was exactly where she belonged. No apologies necessary.